the main man, the myth, the absolute legend, Kieran, absolute hero. So, dude, if anyone is watching this, how would you describe yourself? How would you describe Kieran? So, family, your work life, you as just a person, my man. How would you describe you?
Uh, you've just said it there. Family, 2 kids, girlfriend, busy work life, busy home life. Yeah,
Like,
stop.
I would say, like, what we said already, incredibly caring guy, very, very family orientated. I remember the first ever call we had, that was the main thing from the off, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You got a really good your friend's got a beard oil company. I remember that first conversation. I actually had a beard at the time. I've got rid of it since, and I was like, oh, I want to definitely get on that sort of stuff. So that's all good. But and obviously you're a massive fan of the SSU Des Win show, which is awesome. And obviously a part of Nat, she is hairdresser, so like you said, super super busy with everything. When it comes to those, like that kind of stuff, obviously you joined us back in September.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, September. When it came to prior to September, what was the reality for you, dude, of 2021? Obviously, I know there's been a pandemic. Nat had all this stuff going on, didn't she? And what was the reality for you, dude, with your self-confidence, your health, everything, really? Just talk us through
it. I was eating crap. Anything that was just grab and go. It was never. There's no thought. Takeaways, alcohol. No energy. Weight was creeping on and on and on and on and on, and never understood why, because I was like, I'm busy at work all the time. So I mean, I wasn't in the best place. My confidence was really low. Even confidence just to kind of do this video with you speaks volumes to me.
Awesome, man. And when it came to that, I think a huge thing I kind of noticed, and we talked about it, didn't we, is that the weight was more of you just lacked the knowledge, really. It was the understanding of why it was happening. I remember that was a huge thing. And then also when it came to kind of it creeping up and it affecting your confidence, how did that affect kind of your family life and your work life when you weren't as confident as you wanted to be, Kieran?
It stopped me from doing simple things with the kids, playing outdoors, going for walks with the kids, walking the dog. I just had no motivation to kind of do anything, lacked confidence, didn't like the person I saw in the mirror. So I just didn't want people to see that person. So I just kind of like hid myself away.
I think that's a massive thing with a lot of blokes, mate, is when they're not in a good routine and they're not in a good rhythm. It's not even, I've talked to you lads about this loads, and yourself especially, about the fact that it's not just us we affect, because I've had very similar problems to you lads. It's all about the case of, well, we end up affecting, energy levels don't just translate to you going to work or serving yourself. It's all about, then that means you can't serve your kids. And actually Ollie talked about it last night with obviously the talk we did, and he talked about you've got to put your mask on first. And it's so true, isn't it? Like, you have to do that. And obviously we had a bit of a back and forth. I think we spoke for quite a while, actually. We had a few different talks for quite a while, but that's just the nature of me. I don't really tend to give up. But if I know that I can help someone, that's the biggest thing, is I always know that, because I've had, as I said, I always talk to you lads about it, like 3 or 4 coaches myself, and it's getting past that initial phase. But we had a bit of a chat on the phone, didn't we? And there was loads of things that were going around in your head, and we just talked through them. And then when we sort of laid out a plan and we said, look, we're gonna attack this, what was the first initial thought when you first joined the team, dude?
Straight after the conversation, I kind of couldn't wipe a smile off my face, because I felt like a weight had been lifted, because I'd confided in someone else to kind of who was willing to listen, willing to work through things with me, because I always felt like I didn't have like that support system. And I think that is one of the biggest things that you have given to me, is giving me a support system, giving me accountability for other people as well as me. I don't know. It's just,
I think a lot of men, we bottle stuff up as blokes, don't we? I think we all do, like we all do, and it just gets very uptight. And like you say, that weight is almost like it's not admittance, it's just I've finally talk to someone who understands. And I think like having now, you know, like you know as well as I do, like dealt with a lot of different guys, there's so many similar problems with each of you that you all actually can help each other, because you know the guys who have 6 months, 12 months, a year down the line, and you know when you're in your first 90 days it seems so overwhelming, but they're like, look, I'm, you know, 6 months into the journey and I know that you can do this. It's just a case of getting that momentum going. And I think the biggest thing for us is that support and community. Is that's the coolest part for me anyway, when you've got guys, you know, when they first join, and then you've got the rest of the lads who are like, this best thing you've ever done. It's like, this is amazing. And all of those, the plan, education, accountability, community, support, what's been the outcome? Let's sort of go through the weight loss, the confidence, you know, let's go through that to start off with. What's been the outcome for you?
A better life.
Nice, man. Nice. That's awesome.
Work life has massively improved. I said to you the other day that like colleagues are noticing differences in me, more energy. My family life is a lot better. You know, we're going out for days and not like, you know, go into a soft play area and, you know, we sit and have a coffee while they go do their thing. You know, we're actually, you know, doing things with the kids. So
which is massive. That's huge, isn't it? That's absolutely huge.
Yeah.
That's something that you don't want to look. I always say to you guys, you don't want to look back in 20 years and be like, I missed out on some really good, you know, memories and those things. And how much weight have you lost so far, dude, in the first 3 months? I think just over a stone now, aren't you?
Yeah, it's just over a stone. Yeah.
Awesome. And
on average, about a stone. Yeah.
And that's spot on, because I always say, don't I, like you could go to another program and lose fucking a stone in like a week or some stupidity, but what would happen is you just put it back on. Whereas when you've lost this weight, has it been mega restrictive? Has it been like you couldn't do anything, or has it been actually quite sort of simple to be able to follow it?
It's been I always struggled with weight loss because I always found it very difficult to, you know, follow a program or, you know, myself just keep myself away from doing certain things that would not help weight loss. The accountability helps with that. But I mean, I don't feel like I've actually had to work to get the weight off.
Yes. This is what I mean. Like, it doesn't, I think as blokes, we go, oh, it has to be like a fucking 500 calorie like meal plan, and it's like, no, like, why are you doing this to yourself? Because I always say it to you, don't I, like the point of your eating should be to regain your energy, but it should be enough that it doesn't overspill, but it should be enough that, like you say, when you go play with your kids, you can go play with your kids because you're not like, oh fucking hell, I've only had like a grape, which is mad. But then what's that kind of led into when we look at, like, say, where do you put your self-confidence now? 1 to 10, bud. So I've got it here what you were before, but I don't know if you'll guess. But where do you feel like your body and self-confidence is at the moment, buddy?
I would say it's about a 9.
Oh, boom.
About
so
9.
Do you remember what you were less than? We're not even at the end of our 90 days, but do you remember what you were less than 90 days ago? Do you remember where you were at?
No.
1. So there you go. That's literally like not, that's insane. So you look at that like level of everything in there, that's insane. And a lot of guys are going to ask and always get this question, like, how has this actually been done? So when we look at those 5 keys, like having your own plan to follow, you know, the education, obviously I know you're going to catch up on Ollie's talk because you're a massive fan of those guys, and the support, the accountability, you know, how would you rate what we've been able to do with you, dude?
Oh, 10. Like, I mean, I feel I think I even said to you that when on the first phone call that I feel like I'm unhelpable, because I always felt like no matter what, no one is going to be able to kind of change the way I feel about myself, the way my confidence is, and obviously massive improvement.
I like a challenge. I know I like. I mean, and I always say, like, I think the stuff that we've put in place now with the mental health courses, all the stuff with the guys that we've got on board, it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's impossible to fail. It's impossible to fail if you're willing to do it. Like, you know, that's the biggest thing, isn't it? I always say to you guys, if you put your best foot forward and you just try, you can get there. And that's been a huge advocate for you. And I think as well, I remember our first phone call, we talked about, didn't we? You've got such a strong why. And I always try and get the guys to really think that it's not about losing weight, it's about being able to be active with your kids. That was the biggest thing, wasn't it? And that's massive, and that's huge. And any of the guys who are kind of watching this, dude, and they're thinking about joining, or they're a bit kind of like skeptical about all this, because I trust me, I completely get it. Like, before I've signed up to any of my coaches, I've looked at them and gone, oh, I've got to make an investment. I'm not sure about this. What's going to happen with that? Like, is it going to work for me? There's so many panics. What would you sort of say to, I always like to describe it as almost your previous self. What would you say to that version of Kieran?
So I am a massive skeptic, and I was very skeptical about this. Hence why we actually spoke for quite a long time before me joining.
I think almost a year. Was it almost a year, or just less?
Almost a year, yeah. I think it was almost a year to the day when we actually joined from when we first spoke.
Yeah.
But I think if you're, I mean, how do I say it? If you're not happy with the person that you're looking at in the mirror every day, and you are 100% sure that you want to change, make an investment in yourself, because that's the biggest thing. I'm a skeptic. I was hesitant to join. I didn't really think this would help me, and I can't vouch for it enough, because
that's awesome.
The way that I feel about myself now, and when I look in the mirror, I don't go, oh fucking hell. You know, I'm quite happy. I'm actually like, you know, oh, actually look at that.
Yes. I think that's the biggest thing. As blokes, we often think that we're kind of like, you know, John says it, you know, some of the lads are in their 60s set, that they kind of think, oh, I'm past it now, or this is not going to help, and we all do it. We all catastrophize everything. Whereas I think a huge thing, like you said, is when you step forward, when you do make that first initial process. And even Ollie talks about it himself last night, like the best investment is you, because you control the ship for everything else. And I think that's not even just financially, you know, I always talk to you guys about it. It's energy and money, you know, energy and time. So if you're looking at the energy it takes to maybe get yourself working out, but then that will come back in spades later, the time it takes to, you know, 30-minute workouts. So we haven't done, you know, ridiculous. We haven't been sitting in the gym for, you know, 12 hours, have we? We've been, you know, doing home workouts, doing those type of things, getting the momentum going, making it fun, getting, you know, Nat involved.
Everything that I've done is something that anybody could do. I mean, I've used very, very minimal equipment. I don't have a gym membership.
You don't need it. Like, you know, we just work around all sorts of different things, and it's been awesome in that highlight as well, which has been amazing. And looking at that, dude, as well, like, would you say, and I always ask this question, Kieran, but I know that we're not done, because we've got, you know, we're going to set out what we're doing in 2022, but would you say so far this process has been able to change your life?
Yeah, definitely.
Mate, that's awesome. And that's the biggest thing we always want. I don't want it to be just like you know, we got Kieran ready for summer. I want it to be like, no, we got Kieran ready for the next 60, 70, 80 odd years.
That was the biggest thing. I always thought that a program would, I mean, like 90 days. I always thought it's 90 days, then I'm back to square one, where I'll think, you know, well, I can eat this and I can eat that. But like, it's not just, you know, it's not a diet. This is like a lifestyle change. And that's completely changed the way I look at everything now.
I always talk about that train track analogy. I don't know if you've heard me say that before, where like there's like two splits, and it's like we can keep going that way, and you just do what you want, and just go that way, and then probably, like you said, kind of spin those wheels, where we come along and go, we can click this way. It's going to be a bit scary. You're going to have to kick down the door. You're going to have to go this route, and you will probably have some resistance at first, because we all do as blokes, but it's just a case of me being like, go on, and then we're just in. But mate, that's been awesome. And any of the lads who are watching this, if they want to kind of drop me a message and speak to you more, because I know a lot of the guys don't want to speak to me always directly, if they want to talk to you, is that all right, dude? If they come have a chat with you first, or
that's fine. Yeah.
I always say, because people may as well, if the lads are going to join this, they're going to end up, you know, with you guys, literally going to war on, you know, on low confidence. They may as well come speak to you first anyway. But yeah, mate, it's been awesome. Any of the guys who are watching this back, obviously, you know, like I said, it's been amazing, because I know, like you said, even just doing this is massive. So that's awesome, dude. I'll obviously drop us a message, and we'll have a conversation, and we'll do exactly the same. And yeah, perfect. I'm going to stop recording there. Perfect.